All right. Luke, you're up, man.
What are you trying to say?
You're doing you said you're doing the intro.
Oh wow,
Do you
well
have
we're
do you have the
recording,
notes
so
up?
I have the notes up. I actually read the notes today. So everybody, welcome to this podcast with one IT expert, supposedly at an infamous tech company, a Republican from the National Convention of Republicans, and Derek, and me, who is currently stealing internet from my neighbors. Who's more useless? I don't know. You guys let us know in the comments.
That's quite
We're the
cross
American
between
Yanks!
society. Yeah.
We're the football Yanks.
The football Yanks! See, I don't even know the title of this podcast.
You called us the American Yanks.
See,
Where'd you find this guy?
You really stuck the landing on that.
for the record, I believe I said last night, you should never let me do the intro.
That is
I remember
no. You
Luke
said
offering
I
me
am
the
doing the intro,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
and I said, okay, well, think about what you want to say
Yeah.
between now and then.
Well, welcome everybody to the total dysfunction that is the football Yanks.
Yeah. So I have a
No,
surprise.
I'm doing the intro. I'm not done yet. I'm also having a meltdown on screen here. All right, what? I've lost my train of thought. What are you saying, Ryan? What's your surprise?
Yeah, I have a surprise for you guys. So we're live. We're streaming.
Nice.
Oh, it's
That's
so
why-
unfortunate.
That's why I needed to seize control of the host duties again. So yeah, typically up to this point, Derek has been at the helm not like initially it was me, and then we switched to Derek because I had a hardware soundboard and he was using the software one. But anyway, yeah, we're live. We're on YouTube. So
Wow.
What a great live
Yeah.
intro to start things off.
yeah, not our best. If I'm being
I liked
honest.
it. I think
In
it's
fact-
it was good.
pretty well.
It might have been the
Maybe
best.
it was good podcasting material. I have no idea. Felt erratic to me.
Erratic, irrational. I don't even know what this podcast is about, guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I am like certain that the video is working because I can see that we are live on my other screen. So there will be videos somewhere. That pixelated mess over there is Luke, who everybody has wanted to see, and I guess will continue to wonder what he looks like.
Yeah. We'll never know.
Please like and subscribe wherever you're watching us so that we can maybe one day get sponsors and upgrade Luke's internet for him. Please help him. Send money.
it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So we have a lot to discuss, just like every week. Like it just feels like they really are cramming more and more fixtures in.
I'll tell you what it
to
feels
a
like to
tighter
me.
and tighter window.
I feel like I make a list of games that I want to talk about that's fairly succinct and fits within a 60 to 90 minute format. And then Ryan comes through and adds 6 more games. And then
Yeah.
goes, guys, we're way over.
Yeah.
Well,
Guys, the editing tonight's going to be fucking terrible.
that intro is going to
45
need
minutes
work.
talking about Luton Town and Burnley, guys. And then we're gonna have to curtail
That intro is going to the chop shop for sure. I mean, I put in bold the ones that I thought was important, but I just threw the other ones on here so that the link was there if anyone wanted to shout these out. But yeah, I guess let's talk about. Well, Derek, Derek's like really interested in something having to do with Kardashian. What happened here?
Oh, we figured the best way to, I assume the World Cup committee or whoever in the U.S. is spearheading this, decided that the best celebrity to announce the location of the U.S.'s first World Cup game in the group stage was Kim Kardashian, because
Yeah,
when
naturally.
you think of sports and soccer, like that's who comes to mind immediately.
That's our royal family, are the Kardashians.
True. Yeah, and we're just trying to emulate the British Royal Inbreeding Society. So, not sure if I can say
We
that
do
on
have
air, but we're good
we
to
do have a fair few British listeners. I don't know that they're royal family stands, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they had, I missed this. So they had Kim Kardashian announce which World Cup for the next one?
Yeah.
Because that feels like something like Saudi would do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, have Kim Kardashian. Well, Saudi would have the Undertaker come out for it, but yeah. So now, and I don't know if she also announced the final location, but the final is going to be in New Jersey.
MetLife in the
The
swamp.
final
Which they
will be
call
in
New
New
York,
Jersey.
but it's really New
If
York.
I live that long, I am going to go to the World Cup final. But
At
we'll
MetLife?
see. Yeah. I'll go to that for sure. If I'm still alive. We'll see.
We'll have to look at the budget at that point, but
Yeah, the budget's really what I'm not that concerned about being alive. I really want to know
Here's a
Yeah.
debate I had
what's
with
going on with Ryan.
we're
over
on the
here.
other side of this.
here's a debate I had with Shannon. Do you think that game will be more or less expensive than a Super Bowl ticket?
I think it'll be more expensive than the Super Bowl ticket.
You think so? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean that's my guess.
My assumption is it'll be less, but we'll see.
I think it's hard to say. I think maybe not as expensive as the Las Vegas Super Bowl that just happened.
That was
But
expensive.
yeah,
Like,
but maybe more than like past Super Bowls.
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. So like,
But I wouldn't go to either.
I looked at tickets for the Super Bowl when it looked like the Ravens might go, and they were like, if you wanted to see the game, it would have been like $30,000. It very expensive to go to that Super Bowl. Yeah. So it's hard to imagine. It's hard for me to imagine what.
I don't think I'll be going to the World Cup.
Well, but it's like it's hard for me to imagine that the World Cup will be that expensive. I don't know. I also don't know like how many seats are in MetLife versus that arena in Vegas or whatever.
I'm sure MetLife is bigger.
Yeah, that's
that was
my
an indoor
assumption
stadium.
too.
Was that an indoor stadium in Las Vegas?
I don't think so. Oh, Las Vegas? I don't know.
Yeah, MetLife is outside. That'll be a very interesting. I love this combination of Kim Kardashian, MetLife, and the Super Bowl on this podcast. It's really making me feel excited for the Super Bowl next year, and very likely will not be able to afford any of the games we're talking about.
Yeah.
So where's this $30,000 coming from?
For me? It didn't.
Why
not?
I thought it was a serious thing. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
like $30,000.
Well, it did. I like saw it. I was like, I'm not going to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that was like the end of. Yeah, it didn't matter if the Ravens
Ryan's
went or
next
not.
thought was maybe I can get into the World Cup final for the cost of a Prius instead of the cost of a Cherokee.
yeah, exactly. Shannon's Prius, which is worth like a couple of dollars.
The tickets aren't going to be that cheap.
You'd have to pay me to drive that car.
Dude, Shannon's. She's not gonna like that we're talking. She usually. Where are we at? We're at 8.
This is all going to be cut out of this podcast.
Got a lot of editing ahead of you. That's why.
Yeah. All right, we're at 9 minutes. Shannon, I think Shannon usually listens to the first like 5 minutes, so we might be good.
As long as you didn't give her the live stream link, I think you're okay here.
Yeah, I call Shannon's vehicle the greenest car on the road because it's a Toyota Prius, and there's so much trash in the back seat that it's actively composting. It's rough. It's also covered in bird shit. Have you guys noticed that? Like the paint
was that
job
last week, I think.
Yeah, the paint. She like argues with me about this. I'm like, dude, the paint job on your car is bird shit. It's disgusting. Yeah, the next bird flu will originate from the roof of her car. Is
probably is already festering in like inside of it.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. All right, let's talk about some games. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 3 just happened.
How'd
Thoughts?
you guys feel about that?
So as you can tell, I was coming directly from the convention, so I got back and
Oh, what
smoked
convention were you at? Yeah, Derek's looking very dapper today. This is not
I
not
just come
normal.
from work. I wear this suit as kind of a satirical commentary on the lack of professionalism around me, and so
Oh,
this
okay.
applies here too. I don't know, but
I
yeah.
shy away from commenting on my work life because I'm afraid that people from work will listen to it.
No, I
Derek,
get
no
that.
such
And
fear.
Yeah, there's zero concern. Especially, the things I say in the hallway there are much worse. But yeah, I skimmed through. I think obviously it probably goes without saying, right? So Chelsea won 3-1 in the end. Have to bury the lead here. Connor Gallagher really scoring the two most important goals, the tying goal because we were
First one, phenomenal goal.
Yeah,
I
really
thought
good
both
finish.
of them. I was gonna say, I thought it goes without saying both are fantastic goals, right? Yeah, like a bouncing ball put well on frame to beat the goalie in the first one, right? Maybe that's the harder of the two. But then, we all know how hard it is to play a ball that's coming at you with pace on the ground and not elevated at all, and just put it into the bottom corner, like.
Yeah,
That was another class goal, and then Enzo, again went out there and finished it off to put him up by 2 with a very calm shot and one that again he avoided kicking at the goalie and he scored. So when he does that, he's very effective because as you pointed out, he is a good shooter. He just has to shoot it towards a corner. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't get because I didn't get to see the whole game. I don't know if if we exerted ourselves quite the same way we did against Villa, but certainly a result that this game I think we needed to win by at least 2. That's my expectation against that quality of opponent with our payroll and the players we have. Even with some injuries, but with people coming back. So I'm excited about it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna. I think there's an expectation. This is where we need to be, and it's good to see.
yeah. It's a really poor Palace side.
Really bad.
Yeah, without Elise, without Eze or Ize, however you say his name.
No, that strike was by Lamar was so good though.
Really good.
That was a worldy. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
You
Nothing
can't have
Petrovic
there,
could
though,
do.
too.
Absolutely,
Right?
right after,
Yeah.
like absolutely whiffing on the ball too. Like
Yeah.
trying
Yeah. Yeah. That was a great goal. Nothing Petrovic could do. Petrovic made a great save later in the game, I thought. That like sort of low drive. I forget who took it. Some other thoughts. Colwill looked real banged up. Like he was just back off injury. He looked real banged up with no option to come off and like kind of finished the game limping around. Thiago Silva comes off injured, also groin injury. It looked like. Chelsea looking more and more thin on their back line. Malagusto was signaling at his hamstring. At one point, it looked like Chile wanted to come off as well. Just and Badiashile added to the injury list. He's going to be out for a month with a groin injury after the Villa game. So unfortunately, the Villa tie it looked like we had found something there, like a partnership. The I think for Monaco between Disasi and Badiashile, and like maybe we would give Thiago Silva minutes off the bench or like manage him throughout the rest of the season. Word is that he's probably not getting another contract next season. They're going to move on from Thiago Silva. There's also talk about how Tuchel knew that Silva was not good in a 4 at the back system and was compensating. Like there's a lot of good with Thiago Silva, but at this age in his career, he needs to be in a 5. And that's just not Poch's system. So there's like an acceptance with the Chelsea higher ups that they need to move on from Thiago Silva, just like tactically and because of his age. And yeah, so yeah, Yeah, I thought there were like a lot of positives. Conor Gallagher scoring the 2 goals, great. Against, the club that he went on loan with and really like developed and sort of came like that's when he became a pro footballer, right? Was at Crystal Palace. No muted celebration from him. In the past he's done muted celebrations, and like fucking Nico coming over and celebrating with the team, taking a card. Like it's a team that's like starting to vibe off one another, which you love to see. I thought Nico was great in this game, and I'm not memeing. He is really good off the left side. Like he's big. He's able to hold it up. His uh link up play is like really good. Some of his passes, he sees the field. He sees the pitch really well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if I can contest. I didn't see enough to contest it in this one, and it makes sense based on some things I've seen going back to preseason. What do you make of, like, I guess Madueke starting over in Kunku in one of the spots? Because
And Cuckoo's they're like easing him back from injury is all that's going on there.
I still question that, given that he's probably our best attacking threat, but I guess if we're gonna score anyways, and Palmer's pumping out assists, playing a false 9 or whatever we think he is up there, then fair enough.
He's still like, for me, he looks way better off the right side of the
Palmer?
pitch.
I don't think
yeah.
Palmer's really a player to play through the middle.
Yeah,
He's so much better. I feel like Nkunku is the player that seems to unlock
Yep.
what they're trying to do. At some point, they're going to have to stop managing him for sure.
well,
But yeah,
he's
he looked really good. He really did look really good. Nico Jackson did look better. He looks better either on the left side or up front with Nkunku. So Nkunku was kind of playing close to him. I don't think Nico Jackson necessarily has the technical ability to play as a sole number 9 or the finishing ability for it all to rely on him, but he does a lot of other things really well, which actually came to fruition. The only player I thought was disappointing is I still think Caicedo is not doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, he coughs the ball up.
he loses the ball so much.
He loses the ball a lot. Yeah, like for a holding mid, you really don't want to see that. He dwells on the ball like for too long. I don't know.
Yeah, which is so strange because at Brighton it was all about really quick team buildup, right? Sucking them in and then playing quickly. And that's not too far what Pochettino's asking him to do. Maybe it's the players around him. I don't know. I also thought Enzo played a little bit deeper.
Could be comfort.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Enzo played a little deeper. I think Enzo's better in a quarterback role. I don't think he really does what Gallagher does and gets into the box in the same way. Obviously, he scored the goal. But yeah, with the better performance, it's good to see Chelsea's talent at least producing performances.
Yeah. I was not stoked to see Sterling. He did really well to carry the ball and then feed it to Palmer on the, what would that have been, third goal? I think that was the third goal. Yeah. Malagusto looked great. Hopefully his hammy, there's not too much wrong there.
He can deliver a pretty good ball.
Dude, he's
on a second
he was
touch,
all over the place.
He can cross the ball pretty nicely. Chilwell, I thought, didn't look fit. Chilwell's a little far away from me, but
yeah.
He's been up and down. But Gusto's definitely playing better than him overall when he's not trying to put his studs in people's ankles. So
yeah,
it wasn't even a question of that in this game.
He just
took it.
He just played. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Pretty straightforward, honestly.
Yeah,
that's a game that a Chelsea team should be winning. Hodgson is gonna be gone soon. Sad tunes.
He's
broken.
It's my
so old.
I don't know. He's just so fucking old, right? He looks confused. After I forget which goal it was. Maybe Chelsea's second. They cut to him on the sideline, pitch side, and he's looking at an iPad, and like somebody's helping him like
Look
with
at it.
with the iPad or whatever. And I was just like, man, this guy's you've talked about how Deitch is out of his decade. Like Hudson is out of his century, man. Like it's bad. It's they need they need something else from their manager, I think.
I'm really surprised they haven't made a change. I mean, like the fan base is done with it. They've been for a month or more now, and so yeah, they need to just figure out a plan to move on.
Truth is, the team's not good. I think the question that what's his name, Steve Parrish or something, is like, well, if somebody else comes in, what else are they going to do at this point? Like, is the team going to get better because they bring in Frank Lampard or some fucking asshole like that? I don't know.
Man. Lampard.
Not in that scenario. It's not.
They probably get worse.
Yeah. Man.
Well, good job, Chelsea. What about the other 3-1 this weekend?
Against Villa. Derek made a lot of notes about this, so I'll let him carry the commentary on this one. But I thought Enzo's free kick and the celebration was awesome. Like everybody was like commenting on that. Did the Messi celebration? Which honestly, out of the last like decade of watching sports in general, that was like I watched that game live, that Clasico, and watching Messi do that, I was like my jaw dropped. It was such a moment. I guess I had different interpretations of that than like a lot of people did of the Messi celebration. Like to me, it just felt like a very competitive thing. Like he like slit Real's throat in moments, and basically like I think it was 2 goals after coming off as like he was like kind of nursing an injury, scored 2 goals and was just like it's my fucking world, like remember the name type thing. I loved that celebration. Enzo's celebration where he's like, my mind is here with Chelsea, because there were talks of him leaving to Barcelona or whatever, Barcelona, who don't have a fucking pot to piss in, and they think they're gonna get Enzo. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Great win, huge win against Villa away. It's been a fortress. Yeah, Derek, what did you?
Yeah,
what were your thoughts?
The Enzo goal stood out for sure. I mean, I know you've called this out that he's had more of these types of goals for his country, right? And he has it in him. So it was good to see him demonstrate that in a high leverage situation with a world class goal. And he seems like he's coming into form as a scorer lately. And that's going to help us a lot. You see the impact that somebody like Declan Rice or I don't know, Soberslai has for Liverpool, those types of players. So that's just an extra attacker basically for free. And this game had a lot of contrast to what I saw a lot of the season, in that we had real intent, and at times it felt like Gallagher was the only person playing with intent. But this game, I thought everybody, down Chilwell down to everybody else was trying to get 50-50 balls, really retain possession, and just exert themselves on Villa. Take the possession away, take the game away, don't let them counterattack, and just do what needed to be done to win an important game for the club. And so I really enjoyed it as a fan, and I've talked about the number of games I watched have just been frustrating because we didn't show shit for real effort or conviction, but I don't think any of that was missing in this one. It was, and I talked again. It's weird to me that we're saying Nkunku can play, but we're not starting him. But maybe that shifts. I don't know. I just feel like if you can play 30 minutes, you can play 60 minutes. I don't know, but maybe that's not the case. As managing him back from that particular injury.
Well, they managed him back from the injury, and then he took another injury. And they're like, I mean, he had to have knee surgery, and he's back. Like, when did that happen? That happened in August, I think, and he's back playing soccer at the highest level. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I remember managing, when I think about knee injuries, right? Like the most you are sore, right? And so I would, you kind of limit it to like once a week, and then you need to recover. But maybe he's able to recover just playing the 30 minutes and play multiple games in a week. And yeah, it's definitely a way of managing. That's a good point. It's not
Yeah.
that far removed from it
Well,
at all.
also,
That's 6 months. We're 6 months from him taking the injury,
I I also think they're going to manage him because of their run in the cups at the moment, because the Premier League table is not really going to change for them too much, probably. 14 games, quite a few points, maybe move up a couple positions, but really right now the whole season is leveraged by the League Cup final against Liverpool and an FA Cup run. So, and it's great they beat Villa because they continue to have motivation. I think if it was just the League Cup final they had left. Dog's barking. Sorry.
That's fine. All kinds of sounds. There were cat noises
Dude, they
earlier,
were like fighting under the table for a little bit.
The cat?
And the dog. It was kind of
Oh, nice.
for a second. So I think that Nkuku's really his playing time is going to be all for getting him into Wembley to start that match at the moment, right? That's like, I feel like the top priority. Pochettino
That's a good
knows
point.
if they can win a cup, he has, probably into next year. So yeah, we'll see. I really hope Nkuku can play more in the league because he is fun to watch. He has like an X factor that team doesn't. So we'll see.
Yeah. So I think it's like at this point, I think Chelsea is probably like the PL is still important for them. Like the I don't know. There are two ways to look at this, right? Like either like the EPL, you could say the EPL is like very competitive, and so like you do have like the cream rising to the top: Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, and then from there, like Chelsea, they have 34 points. They're 2 points off being in seventh, and 7 points off
and then
sixth.
there's a gap. So yeah. So the bigger gap is really between that 7th place to 6th place right now.
Yeah. But that can be important, right? So like the top 5 teams are probably going to the Champions League because of the expanded Champions League format, which bumps the Europa qualification to 6th then. Yeah, so like there are things to fight for there.
It would be 6th and 7th would get it, and then 8th would get conference. Because I think two Premier League teams go to Europa League.
So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So yeah, it is important.
I hear you. I'm just saying in terms of Nkuku's fitness, I would like make the argument stronger than just in terms of his fitness, the best success I think Chelsea you're going to have is winning the League Cup and going into Europa League.
It's such an immature side, man. Like,
yeah, they can't perform week to week. They can have a good couple games, but they just can't do it yet. I think Pochettino's the right manager to get them to the next level of being consistent. Let's see if he's the manager to help them get titles in the League Cup. But
yeah. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Spuds. Thoughts on what did they? It was 2-1. Yeah, there it is. 2-1 to Brighton. Timo Werner, man. Doing Timo things. Timbo.
Yeah. He gets in the right positions, makes most of the right runs, although he's offsides far too much when he looks across the line. The dude has the stupidest offsides calls.
I told it. Do you remember when you guys picked him up?
I totally
was like,
remember.
Yeah, I don't like throw it. Like I think he's stupid.
I was thinking about this last night.
I don't know.
No,
I think he's really dumb, guys.
I mean, there's certain football players that I think are just dumb, right? And it's more more contrasting in football, I guess, when you see a player that's relying on purely athleticism versus one that has the athleticism and then also has that cognition, especially the real-time cognition when when you look at like a safety diagnosing a play in football, for example, like the same concepts apply in soccer. Like, and some of that becomes almost like muscle memory from a cognition standpoint, just reacting instantly in the moment. Like, yeah, he doesn't have that. He's on the side of the spectrum where it's all athleticism and soccer skill and very little real-time cognition.
Yeah, he doesn't have the edge to like make a difference. He has the physical and like talent to do it, but he just doesn't have the edge to like finish it all or make a final pass.
I will say,
or stay on side.
Or stay outside.
We've seen Son struggle with Sonny struggle with offsides at times too. I mean, certain forwards have are better at it than others. I will say he does possess Son's skills in tackling opposing players behind with no chance of winning the ball just to injure him. So
God, Son is such a piece of shit.
Ryan enough in this.
You are the only two people in the real world outside of the Reddit sphere that think that.
No,
all
people
listeners back us.
Yeah, the listeners reach out, and I swear, the listeners reach out.
You have attracted a Reddit like cult of Sonny haters.
Son, the butcher. I don't even like to use his real name because he shouldn't be humanized. The butcher of North London. He's a fucking monster and should be treated like one.
Well, he's a world fucking class player. Comes on, has the assist for us to win the game. I'm gonna take it. I think overall it was not a great quality game of football. We're really not playing very well. Really big win just to get into fourth place, hold it, especially with Villa's point tally coming from the Man United game, them not getting anything from it. So yeah, it was a good result. One to forget. Team needs to gel a little bit more. Really good to have Sonny back. I think to give Werner credit, he did do a job. They needed someone who had pace to sit on the left side, to press, to hold the ball. He did a good job. I hope he doesn't play another game this season. At least starter. But it's so obvious how much better Sonny is. However you feel about his violent crimes.
Yeah,
he is a top level footballer, and you can tell. It's just a difference.
Yeah. I guess this answers my question. So the next thing I was going to ask you, I've read that Werner's release clause is 17 million euros. You're not picking up that.
There's no way that they purchase him for that. Yeah. He would not be a ton of
when he came over and like I think the first match he played, I was like, 17 mil, like he does a job. That's like nothing. But
I think the move was like a smart move. I just think the player's not a long-term situation, like a long-term solution. Like he could go to a mid-table Premier League team and I think can do okay. Like, an Everton kind of team. Well, actually they're on the bottom of the table, but or a Crystal Palace, like he would inject something into Crystal Palace, but
did he have just like one good season in Bundesliga? Is that
at I can't say it. At Red Bull, yeah, essentially
Leipzig, yeah.
And then he had he did win Champions League at Chelsea too, so it's like you can't really shit on him that much,
Dude, that save
Chelsea fan.
That save Vicario made on Welbeck.
That dude is a fucking great goalie. No
just
doubt about
worth
it.
his weight in gold for you guys.
Yeah. And
I think he's your signing of the season. Madison's been great for like periods, but I think the injury that he had, like Vicario, has got to be your best signing, right?
So good. And he's gotten a lot of like shit because of the couple corners that have caught him out by playing it right on top of him with a player on top of him.
Yeah.
And they did change that against Brighton where they were putting someone on Lewis Dunk every time. So I'm glad they did that. Vicario, he kind of makes everything look hard, but I kind of think that's like the high entertainment value of him too. Like you got to just love watching him play.
Oh yeah. He's theatrical. Like it's awesome. Like it doesn't matter where it is. He's going fucking sideways and jumping 6 feet into the air. Like
he's really good. Made a good save off Matoma, who is a fucking incredible player. That dude's touch.
Matoma's so good.
So good. I like Pascal Gross. I think I texted you guys during the game. Like him and Billy Gilmore, Chelsea byproduct, fucking controlled that game. It was very interesting what they did. So they basically played man to man and brought a center back out, like Van de Hecken or something, with James Madison all the way back into midfield, and then put Danny Welbeck on our holding midfielder, Bentaker, and we just couldn't come to grips with it for large portions of the game. So I thought it was interesting to watch tactically, but in terms of quality, it made for kind of a crappy game.
Yeah. That's when I like circled back and watched later in the day, and it was pretty boring.
Yeah. The Ange ball has not come back yet.
Yeah, I kind of forgot what a huge impact Matoma has on that team.
So good.
Better
Dude, he's crazy good. Hopefully I can't believe he's still on that. Like, I can't believe he didn't get picked up after last season.
I think there's kind of like a shade around Japanese players, like a stigma around them or something. It's crazy to me that he hasn't been signed by a big team. Like, you could throw him in, and maybe not as a starter, but as a significant contributor to most teams in the top 6.
Yeah.
You know, depending on obviously tactics, all that kind of shit. But he's of that level. Like, I could imagine him on a Liverpool team.
He'd be great on Liverpool.
Yeah. So,
all right. Let's City 3, Brentford 1.
Dude,
Foden with a hat trick.
Phil Foden is so fucking good. So underrated.
That was crazy.
So underrated.
Sounds like somebody was right about him needing more minutes.
Yeah. Well, luckily Pep listens to the podcast and
we did
took my advice. Yeah. At the beginning of the season, before you were on the podcast, one of my takes heading into the year was that Foden needed to get more. Like, he was at the age that if he wasn't going to be starting most games for City, he just needed to move on, because he was obviously so good. And luckily Pep listened, and
and playing him in the middle has made a huge difference too.
Yeah,
he kind of gives De Bruyne a little, now that KDB's back, he kind of gives him more space to quarterback, so KDB can receive the ball deeper because Phil Foden's occupying a central midfielder and a central defender most of the time, and they can create that space in the middle, and then KDB just can play fucking diagonals and play it round to Holland. Fucking, that team is so good.
Yeah,
fucking
it's fucked up.
It's so boring watching them sometimes, but they're so fucking good.
It looks like they're just gonna roll from this point forward, which is what we kind of said at the break, right? Was like they're gonna get healthy and they're just gonna roll through people.
Yeah, KDB being back is huge.
Unrelenting march of Man City.
Do we all think that Man City is gonna win the league again?
I do.
Probably. If I had to place a bet, it would be on them. But Liverpool, I mean, they lost to Arsenal pretty spectacularly. They're playing for their coach. Like, it's the end of the Klopp era. Fucking Arsenal beat the shit out of West Ham this week.
Oh, man,
so yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of Arsenal's on a road of 10. I think you're right on that, though. Those players are going to play for Klopp towards the end, and they're in 4 competitions. They could win a treble this year.
Yeah,
it's not outside of their grasp to do it. I think the loss to the Gunners at the Emirates, you could just lose that kind of game in the Premier League. There's such fine margins at Arsenal. Like, I'll kind of forgive them for that one. Honestly,
yeah, it wasn't like a throttling or an unbalanced game in the whole, right?
It was.
Result probably doesn't.
Was it 2 or 3-0?
I thought it was 2-0.
Yeah, maybe it was 2-0. Can't remember now, but yeah,
I thought the actual
it wasn't.
Game was closer the way it was played, in my opinion.
There's Bowie. Yeah, it's 2.
He said to fuck off, Derek.
No, it was 3. It was 3-1. 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the Arsenal Liverpool game, it was shocking for me to watch because there were some pretty uncharacteristic mistakes from Van Dijk and Allison in that. It did feel a little bit like Liverpool just mentally fell apart in that one, and that's what you don't like. You don't want to see that if you're a team that's trying to mount a title challenge, is for you to just like capitulate like that, which I felt like they kind of did against Arsenal. It was also a must win for that match for Arsenal, so they were like they came out like with everything they had, but Liverpool bounced back this week. They beat Burnley 3-1. David Datro Fofana, Chelsea, Loney to Burnley. He like squandered a pretty big chance. I think it was fairly early in the match, which could have had an impact on how things played out. But yeah, Nunez with a goal, Jota with a goal. Diaz with a goal.
I think
Diaz looked really good in this one.
Liverpool are going to go stomping, I think. Similar to Man City, they're going to get a run of like 6 to 8 games and just not lose.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we're at after. Like, I think with like 7 games left, it could be real interesting.
Yeah. How many goals is Diogo Jota on now? Derek?
There'll be one less when Derek finds him.
I haven't been tracking it.
No, I expect you to track Jota's goals.
You're not?
Come on, you don't have like a up-to-date scoreboard of
So I
your
think
most hated
like
players?
9?
He has 9.
2 assists.
9 goals.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And
Yeah.
who's in front? Holland with like 14 or something like that, right?
Holland bagged 2 goals
Against Everton, yeah.
Against Everton this week. That's what you
first
want to see.
Strike. Oh man, he ripped that volley. Holy
Yeah.
shit! And then that assist Kevin De Bruyne has to him is really, really nice, right down the middle of the pitch.
That
Very,
was
very impressive.
Yep.
That's a fucking pass.
Yep.
Oh.
De Bruyne can play some soccer.
No.
Hard hitting analysis from the football Yanks.
Do you think that pass was better than any Harry Kane passes this season, Luke?
You guys want to talk about that Bayern Munich Leverkusen game? Did you guys watch any of that?
Show notes.
I threw that on here.
Well, it'll be out of order, so I'm trying to keep to your.
Where are we at? We're at 40 something, 42 minutes. All right. So we talked about Man City 2, Everton 0, Holland scoring 2 goals in that. So you've got Foden with a hat trick earlier in the week. Then they come and take it to Everton with their talisman baby eating striker. And yeah, I mean, City's doing all the things they need to do. KDB looks great. He looks fit. I was wrong that he might come back hampered by the injury. Yeah, Liverpool we touched on. They beat Burnley 3-1. Also of note was this Forest Newcastle match. I thought Gio looked good in this one. So that one was Forest 2, Newcastle 3. You guys have any thoughts on that? I know Derek's a big Forest fan.
Where does Gio come into the game as a starter, I wonder? Like what position in that team? Like he's not going to come in for Morgan Gibbs-White, you think? He's not really a wide player. And right now they have Hudson-Odoi and Alango, which is a pretty fierce pace.
Chill looks good. He's looking
Hudson?
good. Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi? Yeah, I think he looks really good. He's really confident. I think that Nuno Espirito Santo kind of gets a bad rap because he was so fucking bad at Spurs, but he was really good with Wolves. And he could do some things with this team, I think. And it'll be fun to watch. I worry about Gio getting into the team as long as Morgan Gibbs-White is healthy.
Yeah.
I rate Morgan Gibbs-White more than I rate Gio Reyna, I would say. I think Morgan Gibbs-White's a super underrated player. It was a really good game of football. Really good game of football. I think Newcastle needed to win that game though, more than Nottingham Forest though.
Where did they play Gio? Because he came on in this, and Gibbs White stayed on. So that might be the answer to your question.
They
I
moved
just don't.
Gibbs White back and put Reyna in a
The middle.
more forward position.
Really?
basically
Okay.
cam position, which is interesting. I think, again, I talked about it. I stand by it. I think Reyna can play even in the Premier League in a deeper role, similar to like an Enzo, right? I don't think he's a Caicedo or like N'Golo Kanté type like holding midfielder, but yeah, you saw them work with this formation. I think Gibbs White is too critical to the attack and the build up and the counter attack, like you said. Like, at least the way this team is functioning now, that if he's available, you play him there. If he's unavailable, then maybe you think about starting Reyna there. But I think you can get Reyna on the pitch as a starter behind him. Like,
I think Morgan Gibbs White could play out wide probably better than Gio Reyna could.
Or that's an option too, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to play? Like, is every game going to be cut out for having Cho and Alonga out there? I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, was Origi hurt for a bit? I guess we talked about that at some point. I was surprised. I guess, somewhat taken aback that he made a cameo in this one because I'd barely seen the guy playing. But
I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't recall at all, to be honest with you.
yeah. So, anyways, he's back from the dead.
Get to
As
hear.
is Cho, who we couldn't locate at one point. But like, I'm not surprised with the result here. I was expecting Newcastle to win. So
Was Origi at Liverpool at one point?
at one point, yeah.
Yeah. Good talk.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Well
remember
said.
where I'd seen that guy. Great podcast material.
You played soccer once.
Yep. With that team. Arsenal 6, West Ham 0.
Oh my
Rice's goal was
Fucking phenomenal.
So
incredible.
what a fucking shot. The classy celebration, and it was basically a walk-off. Like, they subbed him off immediately. What a moment for Declan Rice, who's been
I wish he had just celebrated to the T. Just like freaked out.
Yeah. The fans didn't know what to do with him, and then they just like left at halftime.
Well, they were all gone already once he scored.
Yeah,
Man, that was some depressing shit, seeing all those people leave at halftime. Like,
that's crazy.
Tens of thousands of people just leaving this fucking stadium.
How much is a West Ham ticket? That was the thought I had. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
to just be like,
against Arsenal,
eat
probably
it.
expensive. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I can't deal with this. This is too bad.
I'll eat the cost. I'm going to the bar. Yeah, crazy.
I started watching that game. They started scoring. I was like, we all know where this is gonna go. David Moyes just looking like the world
That
is
was
over.
a murder, man.
Yeah,
that was so bad.
At that level, it's like that. How do you recover? Really, is the question.
Yeah.
And they're so bad to watch most of the time anyway. Bowen does not look good down the middle. They need a striker. Bowen just shouldn't play as a number 9, false 9. It doesn't work.
He was
for them.
looking pretty good early season.
But I thought he was playing out wide and like Mikel Antonio was up top.
Oh, you might be right.
And that's not probably always the case, but I wasn't a huge fan of him. It didn't like hold the ball up, wasn't an option in possession enough. Yeah. West Ham's like the same old fucking story every year.
Yeah.
Like, they did win the Conference League last year, which got like, did you see those David Moyes dancing videos?
Dude. Yep.
Fucking amazing.
Dude, when they scored, Moyes like ran down the sideline. I was like, dude, you're gonna have a heart attack. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, you don't
both hamstrings.
Yeah, you don't have this in you anymore, dude. If you ever did. Dude, Rice had 2 assists too. I forgot about that. One of them from set piece. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Rice is a different quality of player. That guy is a fucking monster. Just mega player.
There was a rumor that came out this week that Chelsea were offered him for 60 million euros like 2 seasons ago, and they turned it down.
Oh yeah, someone probably could have bought him for 40 million 3-4 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Not to say that they wouldn't be selling him again, but
Another Chelsea Academy product.
well,
Yep.
what does that say about Chelsea?
Just selling everything that isn't bolted down, man.
Liquidation.
Yeah. They're running out of shit to sell.
You know, I think. Did you guys watch the Man United game?
I did.
I was thinking a lot about David Moyes at the end of that Man United Villa game, because David Moyes brought Mario and Fellaini into Man United, and Fellaini's like one of my least favorite players of all fucking time. Like, not only his hairstyle, yeah, the human broccoli, and like that. Oh man,
He just retired.
Yeah, but Scott McTominay is like the new Mario Fellaini at Man United. Yeah. He does the same exact fucking thing. Maybe he doesn't look like a total fucking vegetable out there.
Yeah.
But same thing. Go up top, head ball hard. And it wins games. Like, good for
McTominay's got, how many goals does he have?
7, I think. More than anybody in the Man United team in the Premier League, I think. And they're important. I think, what did I see the other day?
He scores important goals.
Yeah, it's like 12 points they've gotten from his goals. That's like almost 2 points a goal.
That's crazy.
Fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That's like their season in 6th place. Like, they're not even close without Scott McTominay. Hoyland looks good, though. I thought, so glad that none of us have to watch Anthony play football anymore.
Yeah.
I think Erik ten Hag might have made the decision that he is just not good enough.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of us made that decision, I think, last year.
Yeah. 6 to 12 months ago.
Yeah. Ten Hag needed a little more time than the rest of us, I guess, but you know.
I will say what's interesting about your point, Luke, is that the Manchester United fans, from what I've seen, think about McTominay as like they think they'd take him over Frankie de Jong, which I'm not quite sure I'd go that far. But that they also put Fellaini on a pedestal when he was there too, so they kind of have a habit of doing that. But you got to work with what you've got, and you don't have much there, right? So.
Well, it seems like Erik ten Hag has finally decided that he has to make the best of what he's got. They're not really trying to
games instead of putting Anthony out there.
Yes, 100%. I think he's finally realized. Now, I think the question is, be interested to hear what you guys think about it. Much like Chelsea, I feel like it could this kind of past couple results could provide a platform to really go on and prove as a turning point in the season. Now, will that happen at United, do you think?
No.
I mean, they're playing better, but if I look at where they're on the table, I don't expect them to really climb from there.
They're like, what are they, 4 or 5 points behind Spurs in 6th place? Like 3 behind Villa or something?
They're 5 behind Villa. I mean, I still think Villa is a significantly better team than them, you know?
Definitely true, yeah.
Like, I could see Newcastle catching United. I could see Brighton catching United. I could see Chelsea catching United. Like, I don't even think 6 isn't secure. And Ryan talks about, like, you know, the ability for that. I think there's some room for that to shuffle there.
Sure.
Then again, Rashford is playing much better, and they're playing better despite having possibly the worst coach in the Premier
League. I think Ten Hag sucks. He's not the worst coach in the Premier League.
But
there's some real
bad. The most frustrating to like look. I hate seeing his fucking face. His smug press conferences where he's like, "Well, you know, Sancho didn't handle it internally, and I'm the boss here, and I'm doing a great job. So Sancho can go play for a team that wins games." Or, you know.
Well, Dortmund are not very good this year either.
That's true. Yeah, underperforming, but. Yeah.
All right.
So it's enough.
We can talk about like stepping outside of the PL, the Bayern game.
What was
you
the
can
result
take
there? You told me.
Take the men out of Tottenham, but you can't take the Tottenham out of the men.
Yeah, dude.
Tough.
Harry Kane is cursed, dude. I threw a video in the show notes if you guys want to throw that up, but that's how the game ended.
Dude, I don't even like what was it 3-0?
Yeah,
I don't even think it was that close. Oh, this is like the goal.
Frimpong, I think is how you say
Yeah.
his name. Dude, I think
The
that's
game
a
wasn't even that
crazy good
close.
finish.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
really. It's kind of like I don't know. I like that. What I think I said to you last night. Like I don't know if that goal really counts because Neuer is up, but it is a fucking awesome goal.
Yeah,
We
it's a
didn't
great.
cross the ball to the two open teammates without
Yeah.
a defender within 20 yards of either. of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they had time to dribble
Scored.
that into the. But yeah, they scored. Yeah, I mean, maybe he was getting pressured by three guys, so maybe he didn't know. But
What I thought is crazy, Sane's effort to get there, he just fucking gave up. Leroy Sané, like that dude's like one of the faster players in the world. Like he could have kept running at the near post to try to get in front of the goal. Just didn't do that. I think Thomas Tuchel is kind of like he's not done good things at Bayern Munich so far.
You know what? I would say this, having looked at it just now and not super analyze it. Look, I think he thought he was sure the ball was going to get played across the two wide open guys.
Yeah.
He was setting up to try and do something there. I don't know, because he makes a 70-yard recovery run. I mean, that's not nothing, right? Like, I don't know.
I'm not a huge Sané fan. I'm kind of cold on Sané.
I can tell.
Anyway. I thought he was so bad in that game. Just like every single time he got the ball.
Fair. Yeah.
Every single fucking time he got the ball, he would just give it away.
Let's not miss the bigger point here, right? Which is this is shit result by Bayern, right? Like.
Yeah, Leverkusen 3, Bayern Munich 0.
It was kind of like watching an old Jose Mourinho, like Chelsea or Inter team, like just control the fuck out of the game. They didn't care really about possession, though they had it when they wanted it. And yeah, it's just closed down in the half spaces really quickly. Harry Kane had no service. It was crazy.
The German league is really interesting this season because it feels like there's this sort of like great shuffling going on, so to speak. Like Leverkusen are undefeated.
Haven't lost a fucking game.
Dortmund and Munich are having a rough season. And
well, they've lost 3 games now, probably.
Who?
Bayern Munich's lost 3 games this season.
I think that's right.
So is that like a bad season? Like I don't know.
I would say, given the talent level on the team, it's really surprising
comparatively. Yeah,
because I think
City has lost 3 games as well. Yeah,
like in past seasons, it hasn't. You could like on paper, the talent wasn't as good as it is now with Harry Kane there. But
I don't know. With Eric Dyer, it might come down just like slightly.
Yeah, what the hell is he doing starting? That's a good point. I guess all their center backs must be like 6 feet underground at this point. If he's starting.
They have Delight. They have what's his name? They have 3 really good center backs, but yeah, I don't know what Tuchel's playing at. It's interesting. Maybe Eric Dyer's just better in a 3 than any other center backs. I don't really know because they played for I think 5 in the back. It was like a 3-4-2-1 kind of formation.
Yeah, they're only 5 points back. That only 4 goals behind in goal differential. I mean, they could make a run there, but I guess it doesn't look like after the last result.
Question is, where does Xabi Alonso go?
Liverpool. Right?
You think that's what they're setting it up for?
Yeah,
I feel like it's that's I agree entirely. I think it's Liverpool or Real Madrid, but Liverpool makes a lot more sense.
Because
like you never know what the fuck Ancelotti's gonna do.
Yeah, there were rumors he was taking the Barcelona job, right?
No, the Brazil job.
Brazil job, not Barcelona. Yeah.
Everybody was saying he was going to take the Brazil job, but I don't think he's going to anymore.
Yeah.
If they get Mbappe, he's not leaving, right?
I think Mbappe will go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying if they get Mbappe.
Oh, yeah.
Jude Bellingham is so fucking good, man.
He's injured right now, isn't he?
What? No,
Isn't
he
he
just
injured
scored.
right now? Did he?
I thought he just scored in their last game.
I believe you. Jude Bellingham and Mbappe are on the same team with Vinicius Jr. Damn.
And Rodrigo.
And Rodrigo, yeah.
And Rodrigo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
that's just
fucked.
like that's a team.
Yeah. That is fucked up. I don't know what Barcelona does, dude. Yeah, they beat the shit out of Girona or whatever.
okay.
Bellingham got 2 goals, and the
Oh, I thought he was injured. Shit.
assist that Vinny put through to Jude on one of them was like sublime. It's worth going back and watching. Yeah, Jude, man, he is really good. I feel like I threw a note on here. Oh yeah. Jude Bellingham, he's level with Beckham as the Englishman with most goals for Real Madrid already after 7 months. Like
Okay,
ballin'.
yeah, they're really important.
That guy
stats
is
you want to drop on us?
ballin'.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Is
What do we have
Haaland-
left here?
Is
What up?
Haaland the number 1 Norwegian goal scorer in Premier League history?
He isn't he. Well, didn't he broke the single season record last year, right? Anyway, there's some
question for-
drama.
Oh no,
What?
go Ryan. I have a question. These blue cards, I need to talk to somebody about them. Is this too early in this conversation? to bring
Oh,
this up?
how the fuck did I not put that on here? Yeah. Let's talk about blue
glad
cards.
that
That's
glad
way
that
more-
someone read your show notes there.
way more important.
All I
Yeah,
can
what
tell
the
you,
fuck
is
is
if
going
they-
on?
If they're going to institute blue cards in the league we play in, I might not be making my return from injury.
Yeah, because you'll never be on the pitch.
Should be
You'll
I'm
be,
gonna spend 40 minutes and 20 minutes of it's going to be on the sidelines.
yeah, you'll be there. You just won't be physically allowed onto the pitch.
Like, what the fuck are
Because
they
you
gonna
like
do with
cuss
these
the
blue carded
ref out
players?
before you.
Like you see like a plexiglass box that Derek is just shoved into.
Yeah,
Dude, this is such a stupid idea.
What the
Like-
fuck are they thinking? Yeah.
Yeah. They need to figure out how to automate the ref's job away before they institute more complexity to their job. These
Jobs.
fucking smooth-brained mouth breathers, bald, confused fucks that they have reffing these games. They're gonna give them blue cards now? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's fucking like, how does this make the game better in any way?
Yeah. It wouldn't.
They already have a way to reprimand players for doing stupid shit. That's a yellow card. When you get 2 of them, you get fucking sent off. Like, what the fuck? Why do these people need to sit on the sidelines for 5 minutes? And it's gonna kill the game for the live audience too.
Yeah.
Because whoever loses the player is just gonna sit and waste time.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
like,
who was that?
I thought they were, like-
Casemiro. I was gonna say to Ryan's point, like Casemiro took a yellow yesterday, I think, right, for an air tackle. He didn't even make contact
it,
with the guy.
yeah. didn't
Oh
touch him at
yeah. Yeah.
all. Fucking sin
Yep.
bins.
Yeah,
Only
man.
I feel like only really rich, corrupt European people could come up with an idea so fucking stupid.
I thought
or
they-
the NFL owners. Yeah.
Yeah, Roger Goodell.
I thought they were like trying this out and it wasn't working. Like I thought it was being like demoed in some competition and they've
Yeah.
discontinued it.
In some just super low league, they've
Yeah.
tried it, but I think it wasn't working well, and I think they're bringing it up more now in the kind of like popular discussion. I think it's more of just a story than anything else. I don't think it's actually going to be seriously talked about at the highest levels, but I think they've tried to put it through a number of different like places, whether it's
Mhm.
a really low league, like exhibitions, whatever. But I don't know. It seems to be on everyone's mind the past couple weeks, so they
It's
must be
gonna
doing
in
something
the
with
FA
it.
Cup next season, as I understand it, right?
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the FA Cup next season is where they're going to demo it as it stands today. We'll see what they do
Man.
with this amount of backlash, but that's going to be a clusterfuck.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Potch,
And the refereeing is so bad already.
Sam Altman, Save us.
Jesus, that's where
Build.
we're
It can't be that hard. Look at the people who are doing it right now. Like, solve this problem, please.
Save it. Except Ryan's shitty idea of animating the refs. We need to keep that.
That's what I'm saying. Sam
the
Altman's
side.
the creator of ChatGPT.
ChatGPT,
Or he's
yeah,
the
but
CEO, yeah.
I think that
Not the creator.
I don't know.
There might be some other options to explore.
Yeah,
first.
I think we
that's
could do
fair.
something else.
Yeah.
Just hire better, smarter people.
Well, we could try.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could try that first.
I'm like actively knocking things off this list because we're at I don't know. We're over an hour already. Yeah, a lot of stuff to go through. But yeah, Messi upset fans in Hong Kong, and this is not going to be great reporting, but I like basically he was injured, so he didn't, or he claims he was injured, so he didn't come into some like international friendly they were playing in Hong Kong, and like then whatever their next match was, they dropped Argentina from like being able to, like the whole team, like basically they were like, if Messi's not going to play, then you're not holding your game here. So that was kind of interesting. Ronaldo is tired of Saudi fans chanting Messi. There's like a video of him being like, "I'm Ronaldo," with the fans, and then like his team got the runners up medal in that trash can of a league, and there's footage of him like pitching the medal he received.
It's like a participation award for a sixth grader who just ran
That
a
was one
lap
that was
around
delivered.
a field.
It was hand delivered to him by the Undertaker, right?
I don't
What?
know. I thought they had the children who built the stadium come out and pass the medals out.
the ones that survived, yeah. All right, well, this got dark real quick.
Yeah. And then there's like Man City continues to be a sketchy, weird financial mess. They are probably pulling a star from Girona, however you say it. And the EPL has had to step in and say that they need to pay a fair market value for that player. And then there was also something that was passed this week that will limit the like deals, like kit deals or whatever, like commercial deals that clubs can make from from organizations that the owners hold, right? So like like one of the things,
arm's length exchanges, they're like related party transactions, and then
right, that's a good way, that's a way better way to put it.
Which I
well,
guess,
isn't that what Man City's been doing?
Yeah,
isn't that part of what they've been?
Well, so City has said that they're going to sue the league over this rule. Yeah.
That was a component of it, Luke. I think maybe what more so had to do with it is that they were literally hiding equity stakes, and like their balance sheet wasn't disclosing like what was actually under financial control of the club. Like basically hiding cash in the Caymans is a simplistic way of looking at something like that, right? But like things of that nature to then facilitate like related party transactions under the veil of an arm's length exchange. Which
do you want to do my taxes, Derek?
What's that?
The way you just explained that like got me like excited. Do you want to do my taxes?
I have an accounting degree, and I
do you want to do my taxes this year?
Other people's taxes.
Do you do Heather's taxes?
I do not do anyone else's taxes.
Wow. Okay.
That much.
You let Heather do her own taxes? How much?
Yes,
how much
accident? I hate it. Yeah.
How much accidental fraud do you think is going on there?
Yeah, there's not a lot of backstop there that makes me feel. But no, I mean, this whole thing, the more I think about it, it's so angering the way if unless what they did was not true, but like the way they manipulated the financials of the club really pisses me off when I think about like what's happened to a club like Everton that or who else got sanctioned? Forest got sanctioned, right? That it seems like they did far left, but I guess this is an ongoing saga, and we'll see what happens since there's big dollars at stake, and these things tend to draw out.
Yeah.
Well, even
All right.
historic examples like Portsmouth is right. Portsmouth is like basically not a club anymore, or wasn't for a long time. But there's these like huge dollar clubs, like you said, there they can pay the legal fees, I guess.
Yeah, simply put.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Derek, you want to roll through Yanks in the ranks? What do you got? Got some
Yeah,
Milan
so
updates.
we talked about Gio, right? And I think we're gonna get to see what he can do at the club level again here. Good opportunity, and yeah, the in terms of AC Milan, yeah, I watched their last two games pretty closely. They had a 3-2 win over Frosinone, or however you pronounce that. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but you see again the difference at having a striker like Giroud, where you can just literally chip the ball up to him and the guy heads in the goal, makes in a team. I keep wondering if this team's going to play defense at some point, and they keep responding with no, they're not, and conceding like fairly silly goals. But like part of that's the way they're set up, and part of it's just like bad discipline. But yeah, and then I haven't talked about Luka Jovic off the bench, but like having him be able to come on and get a game winner, you know, is pretty crazy. And then you look at like Chelsea, where we still don't have a true striker, and it's like, what's going on here? But like, there's the haves and the have-nots, right? You could say the same thing about Arsenal. They keep playing Kai all over the freaking field, and they don't have a striker. Stuff like that happens with really good teams, and I think that's why, for me, that's the difference. Why I think City's going to roll forward here, looping it back to the Premier League. I think those are the main highlights for Yanks. They did have a big, I think it was a 2-0 win over Napoli over the weekend that I forgot to throw in the notes here. So they look like they could be rolling back up to the top of the table if they kind of play it perfectly from here. Big games out there against Juventus and Inter, I think, remaining this season, so they could impact their position pretty substantially.
Guys, Ivory Coast won the African Cup of Nations too, just to throw that in the conversation.
It's weird that I didn't. You would think like I would get that as a push into my news feed, and I didn't, which is I'm disappointed in myself, and I'm disappointed that whatever I'm reading about and interested in, that didn't come across my feed.
The algorithm is not giving you the African Cup of Nations. Crazy story with that comeback with that team, almost out of the tournament, get back in with like a last minute result after firing their coach because they think they're going to be out of the tournament, and then come back to win it. It's pretty amazing story.
Yeah.
Crazy AFCON where not even Onana could start a game.
Well, he's like had a falling out, right?
Yeah.
Coach. Yeah. He like stayed behind and played a match with Man United for like
against
it
Tottenham
had kicked
too.
off. Yeah. So all right, just some quick transfer transfer rapid fire stuff. I was like musing on, we talked about how Hoyland is starting to round into form. One of the things that people had said is that like Osimhen, for example, might be like Man United might be in the race for Osimhen against Chelsea and Arsenal because Hoyland did not like he's very young, he's raw, he like hadn't been scoring at the time. Him rounding into form may have an impact on like the overall striker market. If like United feel like he's starting to come good, then that could have an impact there. There were rumors that Nico Williams who is in La Liga. I forget the name of the side that he plays for right now. It's an interesting side. Looking it up, but yeah, he plays for Athletic. That's right. Anyway, he's been heavily scouted by Arsenal and Chelsea, and I think would be quite expensive. I believe he plays off the right, which would be interesting. Is that right? I don't know. Maybe I should have researched this a little more. But yeah, he plays forward. I'm almost certain he plays off the right, which would be interesting for Chelsea because like they've got Palmer, they have Madueke.
But yeah,
Trying to think of
he's been on a tear, and he's definitely primed for a move to a bigger club, and probably means in a bigger league. Right?
We watched on that ski trip. We watched Barcelona lose to them, and
Yep.
he scored a world-class goal to basically put it to bed. Yeah. So that dude, maybe we'll see him in the EPL next year. The reason I threw this on here is because I was like, what? Like Chelsea, I assume, are up against it with financial fair play, but on the heels of that story, it came out that Chelsea say that they can comfortably spend 200 million euros in the transfer market this summer. That's without sales. If they like with sales, they think they can take that spend up to like 400, 500. So,
and then everybody said, why don't we go buy Frankie de Jong from Barcelona? And then Conor Gallagher responded with 2 bangers today. So I think that one got laid to rest.
Yeah.
I don't. That sounds. I don't know where that report came from, but that sounds exceptionally optimistic. For sure, for Man United, they're going to have to sell to buy anybody. I really don't see.
About?
I don't really see them bringing in a new striker, as you said. I think you're right on. There's only like 4 clubs in the world, maybe 5, that could, buy a striker like that right now.
Yeah,
there's really not that many, and I think that a lot of them are. Most of them are in their Premier League, and most of those teams are tight on the financings and scared. It'll be interesting to see if Osimhen or Williams goes anywhere and for how much. That's the question, because if Højlund turns in the form, right, then the investment is going to be proved worth it. So more clubs are going to be wanting to spend the money on a striker because it really can change the dynamic of the team, of course. So it'll be interesting to see if teams are willing to go that length. Arsenal's going to have to spend to buy, I think. They just fucking
sell
spend how much? Yeah, sell to buy, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's going to be that dynamic. Whoever sells early in the transfer window I bet you will be the ones to buy these high price strikers. If you see selling movement really early in the transfer window, those are the teams going to go for it.
Did you see Chelsea poached Tottenham's like stadium development guy? Or
no, it's the director of commerce.
That's right. Yeah. But he was like, he was involved in NFL stadium deals, and then went to Tottenham. And
I think that he's not a football guy. He's more of an NFL guy. I think that it's
called soccer. Go USA.
I didn't use the soundboard enough.
So I don't think that really plays a huge part in any of the footballing side. I think he had a big failure not getting, naming rights to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but I don't know. He won't start at Chelsea until like middle of the summer or something. I read like 4 articles and they all said he's on gardening leave. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that's some British term. It's some British term that's like he's like at home tending to his gardens, like because there's a cool off period with these executive positions. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
I'm not
it's
concerned
all about that
it.
EBITDA margin, right? So we know we're getting the right guy in that regard.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's schedule just opened up. She can head to London.
Stamford Bridge this time.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
It's kind of
Spurs will be one of the teams that can spend money like that in the summer, probably.
Yeah.
But we're certainly not going to buy a striker, and I hope to God we don't, because we're just going to buy the right one, and they're going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah, Spurs will be flush, I think, this summer. It'll be interesting. Maybe. That owner is like, who knows?
Our former owner is, still probably part owner, is going to jail in the U.S., as we've spoken about before, for insider trading.
Yep.
whoops.
Yeah, it's a 90-year-old dude going to jail for insider trading. What an asshole.
Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I read stories, oh man, this is like, actually, I'm not covering that topic, but I'll read stories about, like, we found a 90-year-old who committed some crime, like, and decades ago, and it went under the radar.
Now he's living in Argentina.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I get it, like, it's a symbol, like, it's a victory, but like, what did we accomplish by throwing a 90-year-old in jail? Like,
for insider trading and no less, right? Like,
doing
it.
Just take the dude's money and make him live in Baltimore for a couple of years.
True. Yeah. I mean, you want to punish somebody. I mean, I do this to myself, kind of a self-flagellation, right? But
Baltimore is a great city, guys.
Oh, I love Baltimore.
I understand why nobody else does.
But take a billionaire, take all of his money away, and give him a 2-story row home in Baltimore, and that's his punishment.
Yeah.
Ryan would say, make him live with Derek. And that would probably be it.
Oh man. Come to the Gunther.
No, he's got to live in Shannon's car for a year.
Oh man, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man.
We've solved it. We solved it. Sorry.
Well, all right, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. It was our first time recording live. Or streaming live. I am fairly sure we will have video for this with the Spotify upload and on YouTube. And like and subscribe wherever you listen to this. We're churning episode out every week right now. Derek will be out next week. It'll be me and Luke. Told Luke if he doesn't show up, I'm going to talk about the Mormon Church again. So you better come. I also promised to not let Luke do an intro again. And that is my...
You're welcome.
That's a bit unfair. I think Luke should be allowed to do an intro anytime he wants.
Yeah.
That is my guarantee to you.
Next time I'm going to read off a piece of paper. Welcome, 20 listeners to...
what else? There's a Discord. You should come say hi. And I'm going to be better about... I had a nightmare of a week at work last week. I'm going to be better about posting the clips on social media. Although this is like a less unhinged episode of this podcast for us.
You mean because we had 0 FCC violations in this one?
True. Yeah. I didn't have to dump any audio on this one, but yeah, that stuff makes for good clips on Instagram though. I had people reached out and were like, what word did Derek say last week?
Jesus, yeah.
Like they didn't get it from context. And I was like, nope, not falling for that. Yeah. Can we get Is Bowie around? Because there was no video last week.
Oh, good point.
There's Bowie.
Hi. He's the best member of the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. That's a pod. We'll catch you guys next Monday.
Next Monday, guys.
Bye, everyone.